Hello students, welcome. Myself Shashi Rai from Green Mangli English School. As you already know, we were discussing the chapter International Organization in Political Science class 12. In this chapter we were reading about the UN. So we have to continue from this paragraph. By 2006 the UN had 192 member states. These included almost all independent states. In UN General Assembly all members have one vote each, means जैसा कि हमारे यहाँ किसी भी मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट के पास होता है कि ईच वन ऑफ देम हैविंग द वोट शेयर ऑफ वन वोट ईच वन. In the same way, United Nations General Assembly, each country have only one vote share. All members have one vote each. In UN Security Council, there are 5 permanent members, as we have discussed: United States, Russia, United Kingdom, France, and China. These states are selected as permanent members as they were the most powerful immediately after the Second World War. Why these were chosen? These were the most powerful countries after Second World War. And because they constituted the victors in the war, means they get victory in war, but not China. This country is not included in that Second World War. Only these countries, United Kingdom, Russia, United States and France, they were included as the permanent member of Security Council because of they become victorious in the Second World War. Now, the UN most visible public figure and the representative head is the Secretary General. The present Secretary General is Ban Ki-moon. This is from South Korea. Actually, this NCERT book is very old, but right now, who is the Secretary General? You have to tell us. Who is the present Secretary General of United Nations? Okay, he is the 8th Secretary General of the UN. He took over as the Secretary General on 1st January. Yes, on 1st January 2007, and he is the first Asian to hold the post in 1971. But right now, you have to tell me who is the present Secretary General of United Nations. He was the former Secretary General, not right now, present. The UN consists of many different structures and agencies. War and peace and differences between member states are discussed in the General Assembly as well as Security Council. These are the two prominent organs of United Nations. The very first one is the General Assembly, who works or functions as a parliament of United Nations, and the second one is the Security Council. Both of them discuss on the matters of war and peace and differences between the different member states who are the member of United Nations. Now, the social and economic issues are dealt with many agencies, including the World Health Organization, WHO. Actually, WHO only deals with the health perspective, health related things. Then the next is United Nations Development Program. As you already know, the term I have told you, the Human Development Index, each and every year this is the body of United Nations. This give the Human Development Index around the world. The United Nations Human Rights Commission, UNHRC, they look after the human rights abuses around the world. Is there anything problem related to human rights? Next, United Nations High Commission for Refugees. As you already know, in this present scenario of globalization, people are migrating from one place to other, for job, for food, for security, or different purposes. So, this particular body of United Nations take care of those people who come in the category of refugees. Means they migrated from their home country just because of their endanger of life, security, food, job, or any kind of natural crisis or natural calamity. They move. So refugees being taken care by this particular commission of United Nations, that is known as United Nations Commission for Refugees. Next is United Nations Children's Fund, and as UNICEF. This particular fund take care of children's health as well as their education. The last but not the least, United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO. These actually work for the different buildings, different UNESCO heritage sites. They work for the cultural organization basically. That is all about the bodies of. Now, reform of the UN after the Cold War. What was the reform? Reform and improvement are fundamental to any organization, not only organization, also for the people. If you not improve yourself, you will not able to develop yourself. You will not able to have those inculcate those virtues in your life, so that you can be a complete person. You can say you have the feeling of sense of completeness. So reform and improvement are fundamental to any organization to serve the needs of a changing environment. That means in the present scenario, the whole world is becoming dynamic. Everything is changing on a very fast pace. That's why we need to change ourselves also. To become on track, we have to change, we have to reform, we have to improve ourselves on a daily basis. In the same way, the UN is also adopting some measures to improve itself. The UN is no exception. That means UN exception नहीं है, इसको भी वही करना पड़ता है. In recent years, there have been demand for reform of world body. However, there is little clarity and consensus on the nature of reform. But कैसे reform होने चाहिए, क्या चीज़ें हमें इंक्लूड करना चाहिए, उसके बारे में लिटिल क्लैरिटी है, पूरी क्लैरिटी नहीं, बहुत कम क्लैरिटी है कि क्या क्या रिफॉर्म्स आने चाहिए. नाउ टू बेसिक काइंड्स ऑफ रिफॉर्म फेस द यूएन. रिफॉर्म ऑफ ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस स्ट्रक्चर एंड प्रोसेस. जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का स्ट्रक्चर है और इसका जो प्रोसेस है उसके अंदर रिफॉर्म होना चाहिए. लाइक जैसे परमानेंट काउंसिल की बात होती है, सिक्योरिटी काउंसिल की बात होती है, जो परमानेंट मेंबर्स हैं उनके पास वीटो पावर है. मीन्स अगर कोई कंट्री जो नॉन परमानेंट जिसके पास स्टेटस है, अगर वो कोई प्रोसीजर प्रोविज़न लेके आती है, तो दीज वीटो पावर हैविंग कंट्रीज उसको रेक्टिफाई करते हैं, उसको somehow they do not agree with those provisions, those proposals brought by non-permanent members of Security Council, and they veto them. That is the biggest problem each country is facing right now, especially with the Security Council. So इनके ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के स्ट्रक्चर में और जो प्रोसेसेज हैं उसमें कुछ रिफॉर्म, कुछ चेंज लाने की ज़रूरत है. एंड ए रिव्यू ऑफ द इशूज दैट फॉल विद इन द जुरिडिक्शन ऑफ द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. और एक रिव्यू चाहिए उन इश्यूज़ का जो फॉल करते हैं किसके जुरिडिक्शन में, ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के. व्हाट इज जुरिडिक्शन बाय द वे? इफ एनीवन वाचिंग दिस वीडियो, प्लीज टेल मी व्हाट इज द मीन ऑफ जुरिडिक्शन. आई कैन गिव यू अ हिंट. Like each and every district magistrate is having some kind of jurisdiction over that particular area they rule. You can now relate. I think this is the biggest clue I have given. Everything is clear right now. So almost everyone is agreed that both aspects of reform are necessary. दोनों की बहुत ज़रूरत है. एक तो इनके स्ट्रक्चर में, प्रोसेस में, और जो भी इशूज़ लाए जाते हैं इस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के जुरिडिक्शन में, उसके ऊपर रिव्यू होना चाहिए. What they cannot agree on is precisely what is to be done, how it is to be done and when is to be done. कब होना चाहिए, कैसे होना चाहिए और क्यों होना चाहिए, इसके बारे में अभी डिसीजन नहीं होना चाहिए. डिसीजन नहीं हुआ है, इसके बारे में अभी उन्होंने डिसाइड नहीं किया है कि कब ये होगा, हाउ इट हैपन, कैसे होगा और कब क्या होगा, क्या क्या चेंजेस हम लाएंगे. ऑन द रिफॉर्म ऑफ स्ट्रक्चर्स एंड प्रोसेस, द बिगेस्ट डिसीजन हैज बीन ऑन द फंक्शनिंग ऑफ सिक्योरिटी काउंसिल. दैट इज व्हाट आई वाज टेलिंग. सबसे बड़ा इशू इस सिक्योरिटी काउंसिल के साथ है, बिकॉज दीज द 5 परमानेंट मेंबर्स ऑफ सिक्योरिटी काउंसिल, दे आर सम हाउ डोमिनेटिंग. यू कैन दे बिकम हेजेमोनस. दे ट्राई टू इन्फ्लुएंस ईच अदर्स डिसीजन. If one person of that Security Council gives an veto on any proposal of any non-permanent members of Security Council, ये सब null and void हो जाता है. Means if you want to get something passed by the Security Council, you need the vote from all the permanent members positively or in your favor, so you will be able to have it passed. Now, related to this has been the demand for an increase in the UN Security Council's permanent and non-permanent membership, so that the realities of contemporary world politics are being better reflected in the structure of organization. ये सबसे बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट डिमांड राइट नाउ प्रेजेंट सिनेरियो में हो रही है कि सिक्योरिटी काउंसिल के जो परमानेंट मेंबर और नॉन परमानेंट मेंबर्स हैं, उनकी जो मेंबरशिप की जो संख्या है, नंबर है, उसको इंक्रीज किया जाना चाहिए, जो बहुत ही लिमिटेड है. राइट नाउ इंडिया इज नॉन परमानेंट मेंबर ऑफ सिक्योरिटी काउंसिल. Okay, so इन पर्टिकुलर देर आर प्रपोजल्स टू इंक्रीज मेंबरशिप फ्रॉम एशिया, कहाँ से मेंबर होने चाहिए, फ्रॉम एशिया, अफ्रीका, साउथ अमेरिका. Beyond this, the US and the other Western countries want improvements in UN budgetary procedures and its administration. और US और अदर कंट्रीज जो हैं वो क्या चाहते हैं, इम्प्रूवमेंट्स, जो UN के बजटरी प्रोसीजर्स हैं और इसके एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन में क्या क्या इम्प्रूवमेंट चाहते हैं, स्पेशली US और डिफरेंट वेस्टर्न कंट्रीज. I think that's all for today, students. We will discuss this topic further tomorrow in the next class. I hope you understood the topic. Thank you so much.